We have seen a massive growth of the real estate industry, which has seen a lot of investors in rental businesses. How will this affect the investors and the tenants themselves?
So URA is focusing on improving compliance in this sector, the real estate sector, because it's cognizant of the fact that this is a sector that has been growing and many Ugandans have chosen to invest in this sector. It's a safe investment. Especially in this context where we don't have very many options for investment. However, a lot of Ugandans have not been compliant in this area. So URA is going on an aggressive drive to ensure that people pay their fair share. For individuals, it's 12%. So based on what you earn, they only expect you to pay 12% to the taxman. If you're a company and you're doing it for profit, initially there were a bit of complaints against URA that you can't just come up with an arbitrary rate. We don't know what expenses we are incurring and so on. So what URA has done to standardize so that they don't waste time examining what you've spent on water, tenants, surana, and so on, they've given you 50%. So if you're a company, you have an apartment, you get 100 million, they assume that 50 million has been spent on these expenses. So you only pay 30% on that difference. So you pay 30% of the other 50, which in my view is fair, and so in a way now, there's a bit of fairness.
Then how can URA ensure that this does not impact the sector negatively, where you find that investors or rental owners will start hiding the rent or actually driving away potential investors in the real estate industry?
What is going to happen is that the bill is going to be paid for by the consumer. So you as a landlord just ensure you are compliant. Because if you're not compliant, you will disagree with your tenant and they whistle blow, and then you pay a lot of money, you see. Because the system of hiding works as long as you agree with your tenant. But the day the tenant does not pay and then goes ahead and whistle blows, you'll find that you're paying more. So I would urge every rental owner to pay their fair share. And then they also have ways of catching you anyway, because there's artificial intelligence now. Because they are using water meters, they are using all kinds of proxies, land and so on, in whose name is the land registered. It's registered in Walugembe John. Walugembe has 30 meters. You cannot say that your family is using 30 meters of water. Are you seeing? So you're going to have to you have to be very smart in order to beat the what? In order to beat the system. The system will catch you eventually.
Mr. Walugembe, what do you think are the real problems behind low tax compliance that URA is trying to address?
I think URA needs to do more to educate. They should not become comfortable and say we've educated the taxpayers enough, therefore they are just dodging us. No, especially in this area, this space of rental tax, I think they need to do more to educate landlords, not through threatening, because I've also seen them threaten this. If you own property in Kampala, you have to appear here, otherwise, no. Let them engage, let them educate. Over time, it will pick up. But they must also be careful. They shouldn't overtax the real estate sector, because at the end of the day, it's also driving, one of the sectors that's driving our growth. So if you overtax and people run away from it, then you're creating a problem. It will take you time to figure out where they are domiciling their money. So I would say that yes, they need to tax, but it needs to be a fair tax. And I think this measure of giving the corporate landlords 50% as to cater for the expenses or whatever, I think that's fair. But there's a challenge that if they collect a lot of money this financial year, they may start increasing the rates, and then you find people are running away from the real estate sector, or they are investing in other countries.
In other countries. Yes. You've mentioned awareness, creating awareness as one of the steps that URA is taking to address the issues of low tax compliance.
Yes.
How long will it take for a business owner in Uganda at large to know what they need to know?
It will take a long time. We still go to church every Sunday, and it's the same Bible. But we still need awareness every Sunday, do this, don't steal. So I think URA should take it as a perpetual task, that of educating Ugandans. Because there are new landowners, there are new real estate investors. You can't say we educated last year, there are 4 people, no. So they must ensure that they engage and people are well educated on what their obligations are.
Talk to us about digital stamps. Yes. What are they?
So digital stamps are markings on products, especially products, manufactured products. You know, the reasoning behind digital stamps is that some manufacturers used to pay less tax than they ought to pay. You know, someone manufactures 5 million units, he declares to URA 1 million, and the others still find their way on the market. But on the whole, I think it helps URA to collect more money from the manufacturing sector.
Are there any more nagging issues that need to be addressed by URA for it to work?
On the digital stamps?
Yes.
It's the process, it's the education, it's the ease with which people acquire them. I think that there are some bottlenecks there, and I think there's more work that ought to be done to ensure that it's as easy as possible for manufacturers to get these and to use them.
Another issue that URA is trying to enforce compliance on is EFRIS,
yes,
the electronic fiscal receipting and invoicing solution.
Yes.
What will it take for all small businesses across the country to be registered and have a realistic result?
Well, it will take very many years, first of all, because remember, we're operating in a system or in a country where a lot of our people don't have access to digital gadgets, they don't have access to electricity, and so on. You see? So this system works perfectly in Kampala and other places where you have, you know, good internet connection and stuff like that. But out there, it's a bit difficult. There are some gadgets that you are able that can operate online, but they're expensive. They have to be bought. I think it's over 1 million shillings. You see? So a small business owner cannot invest in order to pay tax to URA. At the very least, URA should have bought all these units and distributed them for free. But apparently, I think they were distributed less than 400,000. So there's a bottleneck here. But at the moment, if this only applies to VAT registered taxpayers, you must be VAT registered. If you're not VAT registered, you can use EFRIS voluntarily. But if you're VAT registered, you must use EFRIS. For you to be VAT registered, you must have an annual turnover of at least 150 million. So it means a lot of micro and small business anyway don't fill in this, are excluded from this category to start.
So, Mr. Walugembe, many times people have complained about how efficient and user-friendly the URA website is. We understand it is designed to protect against fraud.
Yes.
But what can be done to make this better for the user, the taxpayer?
Well, they've just revamped it. The URA site has just been revamped, and I'm told they did that to make it user-friendly. I hope it is. I've not used it myself. Sometimes these things get complicated even for us. We have to hire experts, you know. So if it's been made more user-friendly as URA says it has, then it's definitely a good thing. But overall, we shouldn't over-sophisticate these things. Remember, not all our people have been to school, not all our people are ICT savvy. So the more you create all these complex things, DTS, EFRIS, what, it means we are leaving the taxpayers we are targeting behind. Yes.
Sum it up for us. What does this URA's initiative mean for the small and medium enterprise?
Well, SMEs
in 2024?
Out there, SMEs and taxpayers must know that government wants 29 trillion from you. Last year it collected 23. It needs 29, so an extra 6 trillion. And probably more because the donors are also withdrawing funding. So it means that you must be compliant. And URA has sent a warning shot. It said we are coming for you if you're not EFRIS, if you're not registered for EFRIS, and you should. If you're tampering with digital stamps, if you're tampering with digital gadgets, we are coming for you. So I want to tell SMEs out there, put your house in order. We don't want you to make noise and say, John, come. No, we have warned you. URA is coming. It needs the tax. Uganda needs the tax. We can talk about how it's being used later, but to start with, they need to collect it. And you should not fall victim because you've not organized.
Thank you so much, Mr. John Walugembe, for this.
Thank you.